After Arsenal thrashed yet another team winning 6-0 against Sheffield United, a lot of the attack are getting credit. But someone that deserves a lot of credit, especially for this season and for this game, is WIlliam Saliba, who is electric and was performing like a Rolls Royce of defender. But why in a game where Sheffield United created so little was WIlliam Saliba so effective, and why has he become one of the most reliable centre-backs in the world right now? Well, let's get into it. Now, I have made a lot of mistakes in my time, and I haven't done enough videos on WIlliam Saliba. I don't think I've done one in nearly 4 or 5 months now. Now, that is probably a disrespect to the player, but Arsenal's defence don't really concede many chances. They are playing insane right now, and there's never really a time where I thought WIlliam Saliba did anything abnormal where I wasn't surprised. That, coupled with the fact that Arsenal have a lot of interchanging players in the fullback positions, which has been quite interesting, and we've also had Gabriel, which I would argue is one of our best players this season, up there with Rice. But don't take anything away from Saliba. He has still been insane this season and has still been a very good level like he was last year. He just isn't having to do as much defending because we have Declan Rice in front of him, who's an absolute beast. But don't get me, WIlliam Saliba deserves to get a lot of credit. The reason why Gabriel is really good is because Saliba plays the very hard role. He does all the things that he needs to, and Gabriel can basically run around and be aggressive on the defenders and the attackers of the other team. Now, Saliba does do a very good job, and his stats aren't going to look good comparatively to a lot of other defenders because he simply just doesn't have to do as much defending as them. And a game based on tackles and interceptions, when you don't have to do much, it's going to make you look bad, but he's really not playing at a bad level. And the most important part of his role at Arsenal is his ball playing ability, being one of the best passers with the ball in the defence. Now, a common thing that Arsenal are doing is they like to push people back. They like to push teams back with different setups, and they even use Trossard or Havertz. There's different roles that they have used, but they keep working and keep getting the other team to basically pen back in their box. This allows the two fullbacks basically to push up and create that attacking line for Arsenal, giving them more players and more ability to actually have more players running and score goals. Saliba and Gabriel often play quite high in this instance. They need to be alert when another team are trying to break on them, and they need to get the ball back. If they are too far, too deep, there's going to be too much space there, and Arsenal like keeping it all compact, so them two are right on the last line. This means Gabriel and Saliba often don't really have to do much defending because they're pressed into the other team's half, but they actually have to be very good with the ball, making smart passes and not giving the ball away to the other team. And this often means it's very important for Arsenal's defenders to win duels specifically. It's not really important for them to make loads of tackles and interceptions per game, but they just need to win their duels and be very good passers to help the team box them in. And there was many moments against Sheffield United where Gabriel and Saliba are so far up the pitch, it's unbelievable that everyone on the pitch is in that literally the final third of Sheffield's box. And I spoke about it a lot, but Arsenal are very good at going from a slow to a quick build in this new systems, and that's why they've been scoring so many goals. And Saliba is very good at doing that, as well as Gabriel. They hold onto the ball, they wait for people to press them, and suddenly they are really quick with the effective pass over the top or in behind. Not only can they do this ball over the top and in behind if they need to, at the moment they're not necessarily required to because they have someone like Jorginho there whose role is specific in that circumstance. But them being so compact with each other with all the other Arsenal players means that often if one of them does actually lose a duel and loses the ball, the other one is there right to get the ball. And we know Saliba has brilliant timing and great defending skills anyway. And now, despite Gabriel obviously being amazing this season, Gabriel is a bit more of a free role. He's allowed to push a bit further up, and he's allowed to actually be aggressive with the defender and the attackers on the other team of where they are. He doesn't necessarily need to stick in a position. Saliba does. Saliba needs to be one of the deepest players on our team at most times. This is because obviously he has the pace to get back if they do go over the top of him. He often has the physicality to match up a defender one-on-one in a quick movement. This leaves a lot of responsibility on Saliba. He has to be disciplined in his role and where his movement is. And although they all have responsibility, the defenders, to make sure their passes are correct and they don't do any stupid stuff back there, Saliba also has the added pressure of making sure that he is in the right position and everyone is willing on him to basically defend Arsenal in a circumstance of an attack against them, especially on the break. And at just 22, you can see he takes responsibility easily. In this game against Sheffield specifically, he had 178 touches in the game, which is very much a big amount. And in this game, he made 167 passes out of 172. Now, not only is that a 97 pass completion rate, which means he's making the right decision, getting the pass off at all time, that also is the most passes any Arsenal player's ever done in the Premier League, being Santi Cazorla's record, and is 4th in the history of the Premier League behind 3 Manchester City players. And now by his pass map, you can see a lot of them are diagonal, but a lot of them are also down to the right side to try and get our wingers or players in behind. This is where we often have a bit of an overload because Odegaard, White, even Rice will come over in that position with obviously having Saka. This is the bias that he prefers. He prefers doing that right side passes, and it seems to work all the time with Gabriel doing the same but on the left side. And now he's not necessarily going to be a person that passes the ball really far away. Often some of them are around medium range passes, but they are still getting longer and longer. And if Arsenal can make sure that Saliba can do them diagonal switches that you see by proper world-class defenders, then I honestly think you're going to have one of the best defenders in the world there. I mean, he is already like that, but that is obviously something that he could improve as well. And not only was this passes so impressive, he actually made more than the Sheffield United team combined. Obviously, they aren't the best team and they only had 142, but WIlliam Saliba is dictating play and making sure Arsenal can do what they want. And he takes on a lot of responsibility for a 22-year-old that is really our most important defender back there. And although he may not get as much credit right now because obviously you just expect him to be so good, and I think other players have surprised people a lot more, WIlliam Saliba is one of the best players and the reason why a lot of these players around him are being so effective. Ben White is allowed to go up and invert. He's allowed to go up and overlap. Same with Kivior. Gabriel's allowed to be a bit more aggressive, go to the other defenders because they've got a quick, technically gifted, brilliant physical defender back there, always helping the team. And I think it's clear that I've said about the diagonal passes, but I think WIlliam Saliba will keep improving every single year because it seems like this year he's even improved some of the things he was a bit lackluster of from last year, and obviously he was brilliant last year majority. And that is things such as his aerial ability. Now Gabriel's the one known for his aerial ability. He's really good attacking, really good defending, one of the best aerial headers in the world. But Saliba has been really good this season. He's really stepped up in that position when he needs to, and often getting the best of his men in the back. Now he is a very tall guy, it makes sense, but his physicality is becoming a real key point for Arsenal as well. And when he keeps winning duels over and over again, it's going to be easy for Arsenal to continue to have the ball. And when he's making around 9 recoveries per game, 3 defensive actions against a team that didn't even have the ball a lot, he made 0 tackles against Sheffield United. They literally did nothing, and WIlliam Saliba is a big reason for that with the recoveries and his brilliant passing and pressure on the team. And to put in perspective how his passes are actually meaning something, I know he made a lot, but he made 16 passes into the final third throughout the game, getting our team up the pitch into great positions. When everyone on the pitch can do that, you've already got Jorginho, Gabriel, and all our midfielders who are brilliant at making great passes. When you've got someone like defence like WIlliam Saliba that can also do that, it just makes everything better. And I personally think the combination of WIlliam Saliba, Gabriel, Declan Rice is some of the best I've ever seen at Arsenal in a very, very long time. They're the 3 people that are really making sure Arsenal don't concede many goals, and they're the reason why Arsenal have one of the best defences in Europe right now. Obviously I do want to give a big shout out to people like Kivior and Raya who have also been excellent, but this game I think Saliba really excelled, and I think it's one of the first games in a while where I really saw him stand out on his own. That is mostly because he's a brilliant team player and cares more about the team performance than himself, but today there was a lot to actually talk about with him, and I think he was really excellent. And I think for the future, if he can stay fit, he is going to be one of the best centre backs in the world for a decade, and I think he is definitely up there now. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought about the Arsenal Sheffield United game, and let me know what you think about WIlliam Saliba. If you like this video, I'd recommend go and watch my video from earlier today where I talk about why Havertz has to be the starting striker for the rest of the season. If not, if you like this video, please like, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.